White bread. White bread comes from Europe, particularly gaining popularity in countries like England and France during the industrial milling era. It is made from wheat flour that has had the bran and germ removed, leaving only the starchy endosperm. This gives it a soft texture, pale color, and mild flavor. It became widely consumed as roller milling technology spread in the 19th century, making refined flour more accessible. Its smooth crumb and light structure make it ideal for sandwiches and toast, and for many people it represents the classic everyday loaf. Whole wheat bread. Whole wheat bread originates from ancient agricultural societies in the Middle East, where wheat was first cultivated. It uses the entire wheat kernel, including the bran and germ, which gives it a denser texture and deeper, nuttier flavor than white bread. Before refined flour became common, most bread was naturally whole grain. Its darker color and richer fiber content connect it to traditional baking methods that focused on nourishment and minimal processing. Sourdough bread. Sourdough bread traces back to ancient Egypt and the Fertile Crescent region. It is made through natural fermentation using wild yeast and bacteria instead of commercial yeast. The slow fermentation develops a slightly tangy flavor and a chewy texture, with a crisp crust and airy interior. As one of the oldest forms of leavened bread, sourdough reflects early discoveries about fermentation and remains valued today for both its taste and traditional process. Rye bread. Rye bread comes mainly from Northern and Eastern Europe, especially countries like Germany, Poland, and Russia. It is made partly or entirely from rye flour, which gives it a darker color and distinctive earthy taste. Rye grows well in colder climates, which made it a staple grain in these regions. The texture can range from soft to very dense, and it continues to hold strong cultural importance, where it has long been a daily food. Baguette. Baguette comes from France and is closely associated with Parisian food culture. It is a long, thin loaf with a crisp golden crust and a light, open crumb inside. Made from simple ingredients such as flour, water, yeast, and salt, its character depends on careful fermentation and shaping. The baguette is deeply tied to everyday French life, often bought fresh from local bakeries and eaten the same day. Ciabatta. Ciabatta originates from Italy, specifically the Veneto region. It is known for its flat, rectangular shape and airy interior created by a very wet dough. The crust is thin and lightly crisp, while the inside remains chewy and open. Developed in the late 20th century, ciabatta was created in response to the growing popularity of French baguettes and quickly became a favorite for sandwiches. Brioche. Brioche comes from France, particularly the Normandy region. It is a rich bread made with butter, eggs, and sometimes milk, giving it a soft, tender crumb and slightly sweet flavor. Its golden color and delicate texture make it feel almost like a pastry. Brioche is often used for breakfast breads, desserts, or gourmet buns, where its richness adds depth and softness. Pita bread. Pita bread originates from the Middle East, especially countries like Lebanon, Syria, and Israel. It is a round, flat bread that puffs up at high heat to form a pocket inside. This pocket makes it practical for stuffing with meats, vegetables, and spreads. With ancient roots in the Mediterranean region, pita remains a daily staple valued for its simplicity and versatility. Naan. Naan comes from South Asia, particularly India and Pakistan. It is a soft, leavened flatbread, traditionally baked in a clay tandoor oven, which gives it charred spots and a slightly smoky flavor. The dough often includes yogurt, adding tenderness. Naan is commonly served warm with curries and stews, functioning as both a companion to the meal and a way to scoop up food. Focaccia. Focaccia originates from Italy, especially the Liguria region. It is a flatbread with a dimpled surface and generous use of olive oil, resulting in a soft interior and lightly crisp edges. Herbs, olives, or tomatoes are often pressed into the dough before baking. Focaccia reflects Mediterranean baking traditions, where simple ingredients are transformed into deeply flavorful, comforting food. Multigrain bread. Multigrain bread does not come from one single location but developed in various parts of Europe and North America as interest in diverse grains grew. It is made from a mixture of grains such as wheat, barley, oats, or millet, creating varied textures and flavors in one loaf. By blending grains, bakers introduced complexity in taste and nutrition, responding to changing dietary preferences and agricultural availability. Cornbread. Cornbread comes from North America, particularly the southern United States. It is made primarily from cornmeal, a grain cultivated by indigenous peoples long before European settlement. The bread has a crumbly texture and slightly sweet, earthy flavor. Over time, it became a staple in southern cuisine served alongside beans, stews, and barbecue, reflecting a blend of indigenous and settler food traditions. Challah. Challah originates from Jewish communities in Eastern Europe, including Poland and Lithuania. It is a braided bread enriched with eggs and lightly sweetened, giving it a soft texture and shiny crust. Traditionally eaten during Sabbath meals and holidays, challah carries symbolic meaning as well as nourishment. The braided form represents unity and continuity within family and community life.